The Alabama basketball team is in the postseason for the third straight year, and the Tide is on a quest for their first NIT title. WVUA's Travis Leader is live at Coleman Coliseum now and has the latest updates from tonight's first round matchup against Northeastern University.
Hey, Tamika, the Tide just finished their first round NIT matchup versus the Northeastern University Huskies from Boston, Massachusetts, and it turned out to be a good night for the Tide. They got out to a big lead early, gave up some of that lead at the end of the first half, but by the time halftime was over and the team took the court in the second half, it was all Alabama. They won by a final score of 62-43 tonight. Now, Alabama has had good success in this tournament. 2 years ago in the NIT, they made it all the way to the final game in Madison Square Garden in New York City before losing to Wichita State. And in 2001, the same result that year, finishing runner-up to Tulsa. Now, I talked to some Tide fans, and while they were disappointed about not making the NCAA tournament, they say they hope this team makes the most of it in the NIT.
I think that they're pretty bummed about the tournament, so they're just going to do everything that they can to keep moving forward and doing that the best that they can. I definitely think that they can win the whole tournament. I think that they definitely have potential and that they have really good odds in their favor.
Now, the Tide's next matchup will be the winner of the Stanford versus Stephen F. Austin matchup. That game is happening right now, and the winner of that game will come here to Coleman Coliseum to take on the Tide. Reporting live at the Capstone, Travis Leader, WVUA News. Back to you, Tamika.
All right, thanks, Travis. And nice night out there for Travis to be outside.
Yeah, pretty nice tonight. Some big weather changes likely. Tamika, we're talking some rain in the forecast and some cooler weather. By the way, we could be talking some snow across parts of Alabama, not around here, but maybe far north Alabama. We'll talk more about that coming up in weather. Plus, we'll look at today's weather almanac. 69 this afternoon. That was our high temperature and kind of cool last night. But what about the chance of snowflakes across north Alabama and the rain around here? Your forecast is after the break.
Alabama's home team weather.
Hey, welcome back on this Tuesday night. We'll check out the Tuscaloosa Tower camera. Looking off in the west direction down University Boulevard. See traffic flowing along out there pretty nicely. Not that bad tonight in terms of weather conditions. Felt great this afternoon. Getting cooler, though, out there tonight. Most spots in the 50s now. We'll check out the temperature map. Reporting those mid to upper 50s along the I-20 corridor. In fact, Tuscaloosa reporting 57 at this hour. Some of the cooler spots, Birmingham reporting 51, but 40s on the board for Huntsville and Tupelo. Meanwhile, much warmer down south. Mobile at 65. Biloxi reporting 63 at this hour. Currently in Tuscaloosa, we have 57 degrees under that clear sky, but some cloud cover has started moving to much of the area tonight. Dew point temperature still very low at 32. That means the air is very dry, so no precip talk about out there tonight. Will stay rain-free, but notice the clouds moving in from the west quickly tonight. A lot of cloud cover building into west and central Alabama tonight, but no rain with that. Notice over the past several hours, things are pretty quiet across central and west Alabama. No rain to talk about. Again, that's because the air is so dry, any precip that tries to form will evaporate before reaching the surface. But tomorrow, we'll start the day off cloudy. Temperatures quickly warm up after the sun makes a return by lunch. In fact, 9 o'clock in the morning, 48, a cool start, up to 60 at lunch, 63 by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That'll be a high temperature tomorrow. Overall, a pretty nice looking weather day. Across the national scene, much warmer. Down south, much cooler. Up north, very typical for this time of the year. Minneapolis 12, Ely at 12, and Bismarck at 11 right now. The core of the cold air stays north of us for the most part. We'll catch some of that as we go into Thursday and on Friday. So here it is on Futurecast. Cloud cover tonight. Again, lots of clouds out there tonight. As we go into Thursday morning, a surface high moves on top of us. That'll bring some clear skies, calm winds. But Friday morning, we have an interesting setup over the Tennessee Valley, North Alabama. Some snow is likely across areas north of Coleman and Gadsden. Down our way, we're just talking some rain to talk about. But early Friday morning, late Thursday night, there's going to be a brief window of some snow across the Tennessee Valley. Around here will be far too warm for that, but showers are going to be likely. So here's what we're talking about. Snow from Coleman to Gadsden points north Thursday night, Friday morning. Rain around Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and again, we're talking just rain around the I-20 corridor. No issues with snow around here, but it's interesting to see. Snow will be pretty close by for this time of year, which is rare. There could be some snowfall accumulations across the Tennessee Valley around places like Fort Payne and Huntsville, Alabama. Could see up to a dusting or maybe 1 inch of snow there before even there it changes over to rain by Friday afternoon. So an interesting forecast talk about. Nevertheless, But here's the pollen forecast next few days. Still a high range tomorrow, but it does lessen up some on Thursday, Friday, and on Saturday back to the low to medium range there. So 40 tonight, becoming cloudy, pretty much already happening now. We'll see those cool temperatures tonight. Tomorrow, 63, becoming sunny and breezy tomorrow. Going to be a nice weather day after the sun does return, though. We'll notice that breeze quite gusty for the first official day of spring. As for Thursday, a dry day, but early Friday morning, again across the Tennessee Valley, some snowflakes. But for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, our area, we're just talking some raindrops across much of the state. Look for temperatures top out in the 50s on Friday. We're in the upper 60s on Saturday. There could be some strong to severe storms on Saturday. We'll watch that forecast very close. Look for temperatures to cool off quite a bit on Monday and on Tuesday. And hey, spring begins officially tomorrow morning at 6:02 a.m. We'll hit the vernal equinox there tomorrow morning. Here's our Tuscaloosa Toyota fishing game forecast. Best activity tomorrow. It looks like at about 9 a.m. peak action at the good range. And as always, check us out on the radio, Moody Radio, 88.9 FM and Win 98.5.
All right, thanks a lot, Richard. What's going on in sports, Gary?
Busy night. Alabama football commitment to talk about. Nick Saban just keeps on recruiting. Plus, as we've talked about already, the Crimson Tide men's basketball team hosting Northeastern this evening in the first round of the NIT. We'll have all the highlights coming up next in Alabama's home team sports.
Now, the Tuscaloosa Chevrolet Sports Update with WVUA's Gary Harris.
Welcome back, everybody. Alabama, a number 1 seed and number 8 seed Northeastern. Tipping off play in the NIT tonight at Coleman Coliseum in Alabama. Disappointed not to be in the NCAA tournament. They started fast in this one. Levi Randolph lobs it up for Rodney Cooper for the deuce. Alabama really on fire early. Retin Obasahan playing better and better down the stretch. Pulls up here and pops the jump shot. Alabama, in fact, led 24-7, but as is often the case, the Tide cannot hold a big lead. Northeastern ends the half on a 16-4 run. This was a 28-23 game at halftime, but after they got close, they cut it to 1 in the second half. Alabama goes on a 22-0 run. Trevor Lacey had 11. He gets the deuce right there. Then Trevor Elliford, who had 9, gets the layup. It went from a 28-27 game to a 50-27 game, and Alabama goes on to cruise. Reggie Spencer, who played at Hillcrest High School, had 10 points and 5 rebounds for the Huskies, but Bama wins it big, 62-43. The Tide advances to play the winner of Stanford and Stephen F. Austin. We'll hear from Coach Grant tomorrow. Also tonight, a shocker in the NIT. It's been a bad year for Kentucky. It got worse tonight. Archie Goodwin, the layup right here, ties it at 57. They're playing at Robert Morris because Rupp Arena is being used for the NCAA tournament. So the number 1 overall seed Wildcats on the road. Then 2 free throws make this a 59-57 game. Kentucky with a chance to win or tie. They go for the win, but Kyle Wilcher misses the three-pointer, and the celebration is on. Robert Morris wins it over Kentucky, 59-57. The Wildcats go down 1 year after winning the NCAA National Championship. They fall in the first round of the NIT. Speaking of the NCAA tournament first round games tonight, these two games deciding 2 teams to move on in what used to be the first round. Now they don't want to call these play-in games, but to some extent they are. North Carolina A&T over Liberty, a couple of 16 seeds and a couple of 11 seeds. St. Mary's leads Middle Tennessee in the second half, 49-42. The Alabama baseball team over in Birmingham tonight take on Sanford. A little bit windy, and the Tide bats, after scoring 33 runs in 3 games against Tennessee, they were red hot again tonight. Top of the first, Ben Moore rips the double down the third base line, scoring Kenny Roberts with the first run of the game. After a throwing error scored Moore, Austin Smith singles right back up the middle. Brett Booth scores. It's 3-0 Alabama. Then with runners on the corner, Alabama puts on a steal here with Kyle Overstreet. Now he is going to be tagged out, but Smith comes in to score, beating the tag at home plate. Alabama up 4-0. 2 batters later, the freshman out of Spain Park High School, Mikey White, drives it into the left field corner, scoring Cameron Carlisle. It was 5-0, and moving out of the third with the bases loaded, and the senior out of Tuscaloosa County High, Brett Booth, having a big year, doubles to the gap in right center, scoring Andrew Miller, Kenny Roberts, and Ben Moore. Alabama played at 8 runs in the third, and they go on leading at 13-1 and go on to win it easily. They had 14 hits and 15 runs. Tide takes it 15-7. They'll host Jacksonville State tomorrow night at Sewell Thomas Stadium. Alabama football recruiting news. For the second time in a week, the Crimson Tide has landed a commitment from a defensive back at Camden County High School in Kingsland, Georgia. Last Tuesday, it was quarterback Calvarez Vicente who picked Alabama. This afternoon, Camden County safety Chris Williams, 6'1", 180, announced via Twitter that he's committed to the Crimson Tide. He had numerous offers from around the Southeast. He's the third high school player to commit to Alabama, joining his teammate and Northridge running back Bo Scarborough from, as I said, Northridge High School here in Tuscaloosa. Well, according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, the Raiders have given linebacker Orlando McClain's agent permission to seek a trade to get him out of Oakland. The Raiders obviously are finished with the former Bama star, having signed 3 linebackers already in free agency. There's also the small matter of having been suspended 2 games for conduct detrimental to the team, as well as multiple off-the-field incidents. The former 8th overall pick in 2010 has been a disappointment, and the Raiders were expected to release him anyway and will do so probably even if they can't trade him to another team. The Alabama gymnastics team moved up to 3rd in the national rankings after closing out its regular season with a 197.525 last Friday night. That was good enough to knock off then number 1 ranked Oklahoma. It was the Crimson Tide's 5th consecutive 197-plus score. And after competing at the SEC Championships this Saturday in Little Rock, Arkansas, Alabama returns home as host of the NCAA Tuscaloosa Regional Championships on April the 6th. Head coach Sarah Patterson tells our Todd Hoyer that the Gym Tide is ready for the postseason.
Well, I definitely think we are. I think we still have a ways to go in terms of, things that I think that can make us better. I really just want the ladies to focus on details and on their confidence that they have in themselves and each other. And I think if they do that, we're going to do great.
We are. That's what Alabama's gymnastics is known for. We're not the team that goes out there in January and February and gets those super high scores. We're in it for the long run, and we know when to do our best gymnastics right at the end where it counts.
And that's going to do it for sports. Again, if you're just joining us, Alabama wins in the NIT over Northeastern. Kentucky loses at Robert Morris. We're back after this.
This has been the Tuscaloosa Chevrolet Sports Update on WVUA. Roll, Chevy, roll.
We got another sports note, guys, before we get to weather and our final news story. Got to mention, Shelton State women remain undefeated. They win their first game at the Women's Junior College National Championship over Williston Community College, 72-57. Go Lady Bucks.
All right, congratulations to them. And it's one of America's most well-known landmarks, and soon you can again see it up close. The Statue of Liberty was damaged during Superstorm Sandy, but is now set to reopen. Secretary of the Interior Ken Salazar said that the site would open in time for this year's 4th of July holiday. Lady Liberty has been closed to the public since the storm's damage in October, so good to see it back open and people can enjoy that just in time for the 4th of July holiday.
Yeah, hey, good news. The weather around here looking pretty good over the next couple of days. It does get cooler by Thursday and Friday. Rain returns on Friday. Storms are likely on Saturday.
All right. That's our report for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Have a